Everyone says your website should bring in leads, but no one tells you how to know if it's working or if it's been sabotaging your ability to get clients all along. Look at these two homepages. These sites offer the same service, pretty similar branding, nearly identical copy, and yet homepage B converts 3 times better than homepage A. Why? What actually makes the difference is the structure, the layout itself. After a decade of creating websites for service businesses, I've discovered that the most effective layouts strike a perfect balance. They're familiar enough to be intuitive and easy to use, but they're unique enough to stand out. In this video, I'm revealing 5 brand new homepage layouts that are generating more leads than anything else right now for service businesses like yours. You'll see exactly what makes them different, which additional elements they include that boost conversions, and how to choose the perfect one for your specific business type. But before we get to the layouts, we need to focus on the one section that's going to give you the biggest return on your effort. What some people call above the fold, but around here we usually just call it the hero section. It's just that first screen that visitors see at the very top of your homepage, and it has to instantly show what you offer, how it helps them, and how they can get it. If people can't immediately see what you do or why you're better than your competition, they're gonna bounce before they scroll any further down your page. So, getting your hero section right puts you 80% of the way to conversion success. For that very important reason, we're gonna focus completely on the hero section in all of these layouts. So what we're looking at right now, this is the very most basic, typical hero section that you'll see on a lot of websites. This whole gray area is supposed to be an image, then we have the headline, subheadline, and then call to action button. And honestly, it's not that bad. There's nothing like terrible about this, but at the end of the day, we are putting text on top of an image, and that can go sideways real fast. So see what I mean? Like, this image would have to be planned very carefully so that this doesn't go across the guy's face. And then as the browser size changes, that's really hard to keep track of, which is why this is like a newer standard treatment that you'll see a lot now, where the image is over here and the text is over here. And it's very important, if you're gonna go with something like this, you wanna make sure that these are not transposed, right? You don't want the picture over here and the text over here, for the simple reason that this is gonna get more attention on the left. They've done countless studies just seeing like where people look on a web page, and the words are the really important part, right? The image is just the window dressing to help you tell your story, but the headline and the subheadline, that's what tells people what they're really gonna get. So this is okay, it's a step in the right direction, but I'm gonna show you the new layouts now that do a little bit of a better job and are gonna make your site feel more unique. So let's start with the first one. You can see right away that it's got something different going on, right? So we don't have any text overlapping anything. The text is all above the image, which is a good hierarchy because it really just lets people know that this is the really important stuff that they should be looking at. We still have a good call to action button, place for the image. Here's where things get a little more interesting, and we're adding to this, not just in a layout way, but we're actually adding content that's gonna help you sell your services. So the first thing we have here is basically just a call out where you can add any kind of a statistic, how many people you've helped, how many 5-star reviews you have, how much money you save your clients, anything you want could go there. And then down here, we have basically, these are meant to be little results that you can say that you get for your clients. So right away, we're sweetening the pot a little bit. So it's one thing to see kind of the wireframe, just to see the layout, but let's see what this could really look like for a business. All right, check it out. So if this is a company that does, ghostwriting services for, experts so they can, get more bookings and stuff, this is definitely a very modern look. And I think it sells the service pretty well. So we've got a great results-focused headline, and then this section here gives more context about exactly what we do. So this tells a story of what you're gonna get, and then this is like, but here's how we do it. We help you, write a book that sells your expertise, all that good stuff. Then we've got a nice call out here of we've done this for 150 plus coaches like you. We have a great hero image of someone who's actually, she's now got a book and now she's got a speaking deal, right? So it's like it tells that story visually, and we have the 3 results: more clients, clear authority, bigger opportunities. But that's just one. Let's check out our next one. Okay, so this one I love if you have a need to show different kinds of images. This is great if you have, different client avatars that you help, and you want to show You've got that diversity, right? You help men, you help women, you help older people, younger people. It helps to be able to show the differences there. Because ideally speaking, you do want to have that happy customer photo. These images should never be of you and your team. It should be about your clients. So this gives you spots for 2, or I mean, you could technically make this a 3rd photo if you wanted to, but I like having that call out of a nice statistic. It's just some good social proof right off the bat. And here's all the usual content over here. And then down here, we also have those positive results that you can show. This is also great if you're any kind of a designer or a contractor, anything where you want to show physical samples of your work. This lets you do a couple rather than just one. So let's go ahead and see what this could look like in practice. Okay, so we've got a speech therapist for kids. Now, what I like about this is we've got a picture of a really small child and then one who looks like she's maybe in middle school or high school, which shows that we don't just specialize in, if you're a toddler, we'll help you if you're young, but we can also help you when you're a little older. So it gets the point across really nicely. And we've shown like how many people we've helped. And again, just all the different results. And then you may be wondering for something like this, like if it were to shrink down for mobile. Well, the thing you would want to do for mobile is probably just pick one of these images and then go with that as your main hero that would show on mobile. But on desktop, you have more breathing room to kind of show more photos. So it would basically be, the image maybe on top, and then this over here, and it would just kind of lay one on top of the other. It would be stacked versus next to each other. Okay, so now this one I like a lot, but you have to use it very carefully because if you remember, my big gripe with the basic layout is it's hard to have text on top of an image. So what you want to do, you would only want to use this if you're not going to have like a close-up of a person's face, right? This is great if you are, again, a contractor or something where you're more showing like physical space versus like a person, or even if it's like a bunch of people, like a group shot, this could work out nicely for that. So we've got a place for an image, a nice long image. Then we've got this box laying on top of it where we've got your 3 results. We've already discussed that. And then we've got a different kind of social proof treatment here. We have spots for, 3. Doesn't have to be 3. It could be as many of these as you want that makes sense and you have room for. These would be images of actual clients you've helped. You have a 5-star emoji and you would just say, how many people we've helped or how many 5-star reviews we have, something like that. So let's check it out in practice. Okay, so remember how I said it's good if we're showing like physical space. So I thought this would be great for a video background. So this is a company that builds outdoor spaces and gardening and all that stuff for people. So we've got that cool video background here. And then we just have a nice like black overlay on top of it so that you can actually still read all of this. You definitely want to make sure you knock it back a little bit because otherwise this could be a very busy background. Then we have this little box right here. I've just made it into rounded edges, easy enough to do that. And then, yeah, we got our 3 results and we have our social proof element right here. Okay, so this one's fun. This is pretty much inspired by those like bento boxes, right? Like it's pretty popular in web design right now because everything's got its own little container, which can be a lot of fun. It can also get away from you a little bit if you don't really know what you're doing color-wise. So this is one that I would consider to be slightly more advanced. And I probably wouldn't do it unless you really have a good color palette picked out and you know how to use color correctly. So it's just a cool treatment. I mean, it's got all the same elements we've already talked about. We're just presenting them in a new way. So we've got the image over here with our results, our social proof here, and this is a nice big box. So this could also be, if you wanted just to have one person image, this could be a nice mini testimonial right here. So there's a few things you could do with it. So let's see what this could actually look like. So yeah, I imagine this for a personal trainer. So we've got a nice just dark background with these kind of gradient boxes over here and here. But do you see how I mean, how the colors could get away from you? Like sometimes it can be hard to know like what color to make this and what color to make the background and all that stuff. So if you're a designer or if you're super confident in your color choices, this is a great one to go with. It's very modern. And the other cool thing is when we talk about mobile design, like if this were to shrink down for mobile, it's really easy just to stack all of these elements on top of each other because it's so modular. And here's the part I haven't told you yet. Every single one of these high converting layouts are included as ready to use templates in my program, the Profitable Website LaunchPad. And right now is the perfect time to join because I'm having my twice a year special enrollment week where you can get in for $100 less than the normal price. But the LaunchPad is so much more than these beautiful, highly converting templates. It all starts with dialing in the messaging that your ideal client needs to hear, understand, and believe before they'll ever decide they want to work with you. Then I'm going to show you how to turn that raw sales message into every single line of text for your entire website. And in the past, even with all my templates and frameworks, getting your website strategy, copy, and design just right could take most of my students 4 to 6 weeks to finish. But this new version for 2025 is a whole new ballgame. I've added AI throughout the entire process, and no, I'm not talking about generic ChatGPT here. This is a really precise AI assistant that I personally trained on over 15 years of website copywriting formulas and conversion strategies. Then when the content creation phase is complete, that's where the templates come in. So you get 10 fully customizable drag and drop site kits that are perfectly aligned with all of the content that we're going to create section for section. Just watch how quickly we can drop this content into one of these templates. Just add in the new text, images, fonts, and colors, and look at that transformation. In just a couple clicks, we've got a professionally designed, strategically laid out hero section that's already ready to convert. And just so you can see how customizable these templates are, this is the same template styled 3 different ways. And yes, I do show you how to get the best images, color combinations, and fonts, so you can have something that looks as great as these, and they're all pre-optimized for mobile views too. All that to say, you can now complete your entire website in just a few weeks, from start to finish, just 30 to 60 minutes at a time. And it's really important to know these aren't just basic websites. These are strategic, client-generating machines like the ones that I just showed you. But look, I get it. Maybe you're thinking, that sounds great, Wes, but I'm not techie, or I just don't have the time. Well, that's exactly why I've structured the Profitable Website LaunchPad to be completely step-by-step, and why I did most of the pre-work for you so that AI can help you get launched really fast. And here's the best part. You're never alone in this process. Every single student gets 90 full days of small group coaching by me and my team in weekly live Q&A calls. That works out to about 12 sessions where you can get direct feedback from me on your website. Stuck on your homepage headline? Not sure if your design is working, or just want confirmation that you're on the right track? All you gotta do is show up to the live sessions and we can work through it together in real time. Think about what that means for a second. So rather than spending $5,000 minimum on a professional team to build your website for you, and that's on the low end, you're getting everything you need to create a high converting website yourself. Plus, you're gaining the skills and tools to keep evolving your site as your business grows. So from now until Friday night only, the Profitable Website LaunchPad is open for special enrollment week. So let me be crystal clear about what you get when you join. First, you get lifetime access to our complete website building creation system, including all of our new AI-powered tools that cut your work time in half. Every template, every framework, every strategy I've developed over 15 years, it's all yours. Plus those 90 days of weekly live small group coaching calls with me and my team. That's 3 full months of getting direct feedback as you build your site. No getting stuck, no wondering if you're doing it right. You've got an expert in your corner the whole way. And since we're celebrating our 2025 AI upgrade, here's what you get that's brand new. So instant access to our AI writing assistant, 10 fully customizable drag and drop templates with a complete video training how to use each one, and my fast track launch planner that breaks all of your tasks into short 30 to 60 minute bursts with a realistic timeline so it's easy to stay on track. Now the doors are only open till midnight this Friday, July 18th to get your discount, and I'd love to see you inside. So just click right here to learn more and join us inside the Profitable Website LaunchPad. Or if you want to hear about the real results that my past students got with this program, watch this video right here. So just remember, your website can either be your best salesperson or your biggest barrier to growth. Click here and let me show you how to make it work for you 24/7.